Greetings everyone, this is Mike Wright, the Astro Sherpa, dropping in with a spatial report. We are here looking for some good fortune, and there it is. That's Jupiter in Taurus, right at 15 degrees, and Jupiter's slowing down. It will be turning retrograde right there, so we're going to be dealing with this big power play right in the middle of Taurus. And we've spoken about that degrees right there. So excuse me, I have to quit saying I got. So language is very important. I have something very special to show you, the magic of the number 72. 72 is a very, very, very special number. Ask Beatrice. That's the number where we can apply the golden rule. So let's get a good angle here, and I'm going to show you the relationship between Father Time, setting the base notes, and Jupiter, which expands those notes. So this light is blocking us. Mercury retrograde's getting ready to start, so let's see if we can zoom out a little bit here. So Saturn is right there, 4 degrees of Pisces. So just above, right where that beam of light's shining through. It's crazy, we're being blocked by Saturn. Saturn in Pisces comes out of the veil, behind the veil, really crazy. But from Saturn to Jupiter is 71 degrees. So 72 degrees is a very, very powerful number. We use that in a lot of measurements. So we're going to take you inside and show you on the chart what that means, the power of 72. So let's think about those numbers and break them down. So 7 and 2 adds up to a 9. 9 represents I am, the ego, the persona, the mask. So Jupiter is right there, and Uranus several degrees past, but they're not going to meet up till this spring. And then we have Saturn. Let's see if we can get another angle. Saturn's so damn cranky, but he is giving out gifts in Pisces, which is opening doorways to your spiritual past to release the ghost, release your old wounds. There's Saturn. So Saturn is restriction. We're restricted into form, crystals. Saturn is the crystallization process, the hardening up. So Saturn and Jupiter, these are pairs of relationships we look at all the time. So we have to look. What's cool about the number 72 is it's 2 to the 3rd power times 3 to the 2nd power. That's an inverse perfect relationship. So in music, we use the perfect 5th. That's harmonious. So 72 is in relationship to some religious beliefs too. 72 angels. So, or angles, favorable angles. There's also 72 shadows. Let's go in here and look at the chart. Talk about what the heck is going on with this divine math. So we're actually looking at, and pardon my crude drawing, I just put that together, a pentagon inside of a circle, inside of a hexagon, inside of another circle. So if you ever wondered why the United States chose the Pentagon as its defense department, it's because that symbol has a lot of power. A lot of power. It has the golden ratio in it. So the measure, that's where 72 comes in. So when we use the number 432 hertz, that has the golden angle in it as well. So all these numbers, double 72, and you get a really well-known number, 144. Have you heard of the elect make it into heaven? So these heavenly spheres are the ascending notes of music. So they lift us up, they make us emotionally feel better. So music, the waves lift you up, and with everything else in duality, it can also take you down, descending. So we're in this constant motion when we're, in the emotion body, we're in duality constantly. So we can feel either way on an issue. And it's not right or wrong. It's both. It's your focus on, what frequency range are you in? Now you can change frequency and drop into, the infinite space. There is a whole method to transfer these energies in between the two spaces, and that's that golden measure. So we're looking at Saturn right here to Jupiter. That is 1/5 approximately. So one more degree and they would be about 72 degrees apart. So that is this quintile relationship. And so that's where we get this perfect mirror symmetry. So that's a harmonious musical note that shows us both dark and light exactly at the same time. So it opens up a doorway for you to feel both ways and understand that feeling. So look at the moon down here, 22 degrees of Libra, 22, 2 and a 2. They mirror each other. So that's two even numbers. So even and even. You get another even number, 4. So 4 is the 4 cardinal directions you're looking at here. North, south, east, west. Or ground to spirit and self to others, relationships. That's the cube we live in. So you're constantly going from developing your personal identity, your personal expression, social expression, and social identity. So we do this, process every year somewhere, somehow in our persona. You build up and tear down mask all the time. So if you're happy and joyful and boisterous, you're wearing the mask with the smile up on it, the upward, if you look at a sine wave that the moon cycles make, the wave goes up and down. Up and down with a straight line, you have a parabol curve up and then one below the line. So if you're frowning, then, your spirit sinks down into the body. you smile, your spirit is lifted. We're happy. So that's when you feel your spirit coming and going. Now you can tie that to what your mind truly knows what you love doing and being. It just, you know it's right. So this is the purpose we're here for, is to marry those two things. And we do that, through harmonious synchronicities. So these numbers, when you see all these numbers, 12 and 24, the reason we use those as time to break up the day are, 24 mirrors itself to 42. Half of 24 is 12. 12 is, divides into that 72, very nicely, into 60. So, these are all ways we can look at numbers and how they make ratios, relationships. So you need to look at the relationships in your life. Which ones are harmonious? Which ones cause discord? Tension. We need tension and resistance to grow out of our comfort zones, but we can't stay tense all the time. That weakens the body. Structure under tension is constantly weak. So our whole nation, our whole ideals have been under tension for a long, long time. So it's time for each one of us to vibrate and ease back away from these tense, negative feelings being generated and propagated by the outer world. They want you to feel uncomfortable, scared, lonely, angry, all the lower frequencies, the lower vibrations. They want you to propagate that so you imagine the world coming to an end. Guess what? It's their world coming to an end, not yours. Yours is just starting. You're waking up. So this is the joy and glory we're being shown by Father Time, dissolving time itself. And you will see by the time Saturn hits Neptune, right here at the end of Pisces, it's just, for anybody who lives in strictly the linear logic world, this is proof, mathematical proof. There is a grand design. None of this is random. So we drop in and out of waves into particle form, or particles into waves. So these are constantly changing. So what you think of particles would be, math and physics as you were taught in school. The wave is your imagination and your creative ability to, think your way out of situations. Actual magic, which means attracting the things that you believe wasn't possible. And when you do believe, you change the very fabric of space and you attract the energetic connections right here, 72 degrees, a perfect fifth. You play those harmonious notes, you will get the energy you need, the connections you need, the nodal access and power to accelerate yourself to higher dimensions, ascending. So we are constantly, it's not about just ascension though, because none of us here are anywhere near any state of perfection. There's very, 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 very tiny percentages of that. We're all here to grow, and understand our capabilities. You are limitless in your imagination. Okay? Your imagination and your focus and your heart beating in alignment will attract the world you want. but you have to eliminate the lower frequencies of people and things in your life that are keeping you stuck. So this is the time to see your spiritual self elevating away from the lower density patterns and lower frequency people and places you've been stuck in. You have to set on a new compass heading, a new direction. You have to. If you don't, the wheel is gonna crush you. There is a giant rolling boulder coming down the mountain. So you have to be aware to get out of the way. So this is the time to let go of this 3D patterning that is just really still draining all of us, because the spelling is still dark and heavy. That's Pluto down here washing away the dirt from people's, senses. We have been gluttonous and indulged in all these fantasies, allowing the weak, the inverse, the weak to rule the strong, corruption to rule the day. Those people who are upright and bright have slunk into the darkness for fear of being called a name or cast, canceled, whatever. Those are just dark spells, folks. Your power is your reason, your intuition, and where you physically stand. Stand upright. Love yourself and love your neighbor. You have to interact. So that is your time space here. And when you go to sleep or you dream or you astral travel or whatever you want to call it, that's when you're free, totally free to imagine anything you want. Even freeing all your wounds, your ancestors' patterns, chains, curses, whatever it may be. You are free. Now own it. The dark side of duality is you can go in the shadow world, see all the sea monsters, down here in the past, and really follow all the notes backwards. So every relationship you see here has an inverse mirror relationship. So let's give you an example here. Saturn and Jupiter, we're talking about that 1/5 here of the zodiac wheel. We break that down and we get 30 days. That's the measure of 12. So 24 hours, that's where we do our day and night, break them down in 12-hour segments. These fifths, they come along, they play these harmonies, music notes. But if you're under tension, which is this red line versus this blue line, which is a sextile angle, blue is harmonious, red is tense. But it's the tension that makes you want to see, grow, or know what's next. Do you want to know what's next? Tune in, tune up, and participate any way you go. I hope you're well. Astro Sherpa out.